Is gaming bad for your health? According to this article, excessive gaming could be damaging to your health, a study suggests. We called GameSpot, so we clearly love to play video games. You're reading stories on the site called GameSpot, so it's safe to assume that you love to play video games too. However, we all need to be careful with how long we play video games because a new study suggests that logging too many hours could seriously hurt our physical, emotional, and mental health. In a new study published in Science Direct's Nutrition Journal and reported on by Medical Express, 10 different researchers from around the world investigated the effects of excessive gaming and its effects on young people. Led by Professor Mario Servio of the Curtin School of Population Health in Perth, Western Australia, and surveying 317 students from 5 Australian universities with a median age of 20 years old, the study found that high gamers, people whose playtime exceeded 10 hours a week, were greater at risk of dietary issues, sleep deprivation, and weight gain. First off, I'm gonna go ahead and criticize this study and say you only studied 300 people. There's 9 billion people on planet, so I feel like you need at least 1,000, a bigger sample size. But I'm gonna keep reading. What stood out was students gaming up to 10 hours a week all looked very similar in terms of diet, sleep, and body weight, they said. The real differences emerged in those gaming more than 10 hours a week, who showed clear divergence from the rest of the sample. It's worth noting that the 317 students across 5 universities in 1 country is an incredibly small sample. Literally what I said. Alongside high gamers, 10 hours a week, the researchers split the participants into low gamers, 0 to 5 hours per week, and moderate gamers, 5 to 10 hours, depending on the self-reported amount of time that they spent playing video games. In those categories, the researchers found, well, first of all, that's another problem right there. Depending on the self-reported amount of time. Self-reported, so they're not properly tracking they're not actually watching them play games. That's interesting. In these categories, the researchers found that high gamers experienced a decline in diet quality and an increase in obesity when compared to low and moderate gamers. For example, according to the study, high gamers had a median body index of, first of all, BMI is dated as fuck too, but anyways. Additionally, while all 3 groups reported generally poor sleep quality, moderate and high gamers scored worse here than low gamers, with their hours spent gaming being a significant disruptor to the quality of their sleep. This is a bad study. I got to call cap on this shit. They're basically saying the more hours you play, because they're saying they gave the same, the more hours you play, the more likely you are to be a complete loser. And my thing is, like, it sounds to me, because they didn't properly track it, how do you know what people are putting in their body? You only know what they're telling you. You can 100% play games a lot and still be a healthy individual if your diet is right. This is what they told us. That's what I'm saying. They're also like 18 to 22 years old. When I left home for the first time, I ate like crap too and wasn't playing games back then. I get what you're saying, but like this study has like flaws off rip. I've already pointed out too. I know plenty of people that are fucking shredded that play games all the fucking time. So it's like, you admitted in the study that you went by what they said. You don't know that. So that you have a group of gamers that didn't play a lot and they also claim to eat healthy. But if you're not properly tracking that, how do you know they actually ate healthy? That's the problem with this article. Don't get me wrong. If you sit on your ass all day and eat bad, yeah, you're going to become a fat ass. But the problem is the way they're tracking this doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't seem Tyler 1. Yeah, Tyler 1 is ripped. Yeah, you're right. You can 100% do it. It's misleading. Additionally, while all 3 groups reported generally, each additional hour of gaming per week was linked to a decline in diet quality, even after accounting for stress, physical activity, and other lifestyle factors, Servio explained in the findings. This study doesn't prove gaming causes these issues, but it shows a clear pattern that excessive gaming may be linked to an increase in health risk factors. Our data suggests low and moderate gaming is generally fine, but excessive gaming may crowd out healthy habits such as eating in a balanced diet, sleeping properly, and staying active. Being excessive in anything is a problem. But this is stupid. Anything in excess is going to be bad for you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's bad for my health? Studies like this. It's not all bad though. Servio said that there's hope for young people whose college habits may carry over into their adulthood, change their behavior before the habit becomes an identity. Because university habits often follow people into adulthood, Healthier routines such as taking breaks from gaming, avoiding playing games late at night, and choosing healthier snacks may help improve their overall well-being. Another problem I have with this article too, and why I gotta call cap and bullshit, I feel like it's just propaganda against gamers because there's still a segment of the society that thinks just doesn't like it for whatever reason. I gotta call cap on this shit because this same bullshit ass study could be applied to people who are overworked. Most people work desk jobs. I don't want to say most. Let's say half the population are white collar desk jobs that sit in a fucking cubicle all day. It's the same fucking shit, but you don't see studies on that. So what's the reason that they're doing a study on this other than to try to propagandize and put a stigma behind gaming? The issue is a lack of movement across the board, but you can't blame it on game. Why are motherfuckers doing 14-hour work weeks and barely getting enough to get by? Now you're getting mad at me because I'm playing on a game. I barely get any free time. Listen, I'm tired of this shit working in my dollar. See? Australia always has a problem with gamers. But yeah, but the biggest problem too is only 300 people were sampled. Of those 300 people, they should have surveyed who identifies as a disciplined person. Because if you just surveyed 300 people who were completely undisciplined, naturally the study is going to go the way that you want. You got to find people, because if you've put a third disciplined, moderately disciplined, and then undisciplined, I bet you'll find those moderate to disciplined people didn't put any weight on. This is why I got to call bullshit on this shit. A large sample size isn't always good. I got to call bullshit on this joint. There's some truth to it, obviously. If you sit on your ass all day, you're going to get fat. But I think it has more to do with your discipline than anything else, because I know plenty of gamers who are shredded. Somebody in the chat says, shout out to Ace. Shout out to Ace. Work more, complain less is America. Pseudoscience. But, you know, just some food for thought. I was going to blame this on Trump for a second until I read the article and saw that it took place in Australia. Because I'm like, is this some RFK propaganda? Is this some fucking RFK fucking propaganda bullshit? But nah, there's some shit coming out of Australia. So I'm gonna give him a pass for now. Still fuck him though. In dystopian news, Fallout Shelter reality show announced for Prime Video. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are now doing reality shows based around the concept of nuclear bomb shelters. Another Fallout show is in the works for Prime Video, though it'll be quite different from the popular scripted drama starring Walter Goggins. Amazon is developing a competitive series with the working title Fallout Shelter, and the company just put out a casting call online. According to the casting call, contestants or dwellers will live together in a top secret vault and compete in games related to core attributes from the Fallout universe. Loyalty and alliances between dwellers will also be tested, with the official Twitter account describing the game as containing escalating challenges, strategic dilemmas, and moral conundrums. Casting applications close on February 15th. Translation, guys, Amazon is trying to do Survivor. You know that show Survivor from the early 2000s? I think it's still going. Survivor, but in Fallout. And I gotta say, this shit is very dystopian, because if you haven't played Fallout, or if you, matter of fact, if you've seen the Fallout show, but both of them, who cares? The games are old. Spoiler, part of the reason why the nuclear bombs went off is because billionaires got together and said, fuck you and I, and they wanted to experiment on us. So each billionaire that sat at the table said, I get this vault, and I'm gonna do these experiments on these people. Let's see what happens when we sleep deprived people. This billionaire got this, and this one. The point I'm trying to make is, I find it very weird that a game that is there's zero self-awareness, a game about billionaires that fucked up the world and caused nuclear holocaust. Now, Lex Luthor, a billionaire, is doing it, is reenacting it. I feel like we're losing the plot. I don't know. Maybe I'm the too woke friend. Am I too woke? Yeah, am I too woke? Maybe I'm the too woke friend, but this shit is kind of weird to me, man. Like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna pass on this show. Let's bring together the billionaires into the vault. Yeah, put them motherfuckers in the vault. Y'all fight it out, bitch. British production company Studio Lambert, most famous for The Undercover Boss, The Circle, and The Traitors, is behind the project. The studio also produced another reality competition tie-in and a dystopian streaming show working on the Squid Game, the challenge for Netflix. I was also going to say, yeah, Squid Game vibes. It's unknown what kind of task Fallout Shelter will put its contestants through, but hopefully it won't be ethically questionable as Mr. Beast's competitive show and lawsuit magnet Beast Games, which also calls Prime Video its streaming home. Fallout Shelter shares a title with the 2015 mobile game. They're just yapping now. I told my people if Running Man was real, people would legit pay to watch. Who's signing up for this shit? Please, man. I can't speak for other countries, but here in the United States, we have celebrity worship culture, unfortunately. So somebody's going to sign up for this because somebody wants their 5 seconds of fame. And I think the unfortunate thing about it, too, is it never leads to anything. I don't want to say never, but most of the time, if I lined up like 100 reality TV stars, I'd say maybe 1 or 2 build a career out of it. Like for every Natalie Nunn, there's 1,000 people that are not Natalie Nunn, you know? Baddies! Pose for me. Motherfuckers will do anything for a bag too. Anything. Anything. Maybe we'll get to see our first real live super mutant. I don't know. In other news, here's a first look at Sophie Turner as Lara Croft in the upcoming Tomb Raider show. I saw this going viral. This is what she looks like in the fit. How we feeling about it? How we feeling about it? I personally don't care. As long as the show is good, I really don't care what she looks like. Fuck GameStop for that tweet, by the way. I don't know what they tweeted, but it's still fuck GameStop. Looks the part. All right. Yeah, I say it looks all right. I say it looks all right, but it's not blowing me away. As long as the show is good, I don't really care that much. It looks like a Lara to me. It looks like a Lara. Cool. Whatever. What else I got for ya? Oh, in regards to Highguard, because some people mentioned it earlier. Highguard update. Highguard. According to Paul Tassi, who is a writer, I believe. I write about video games. He's a writer for Forbes, so he's credible. I have learned that Highguard did not actually pay for the Game Awards final spot. It was just the show putting it there. So for those unaware, when it comes to the Game Awards, you have to pay for a spot there. And from my understanding, it's like $1 million for like a minute. 3 other people reported this as well. And 3 other people reported this as well, Watts. And this is why I said maybe let's let the game come out before we dunk on it. I said my biggest issue with the reveal of Highguard was that Jeff waited to the very end of the show and then he hyped it up as the next big thing. But I think the response to Highguard would have been completely different if it was put in the middle of the show and it was just another one of the announcements. I think it was how it was presented was the fact that people hated on it so hard. And now we're finding out that Highguard never paid for it. And I also read somewhere else. Nah, I ain't gonna say it. So it may be that Jeff was personally, Jeff was personally excited for the game is what it seems like. And he just put it out there on Front Street, basically. That was weird. They decided to make the game in the final review while placement ain't in the price. Nah, I'm pretty sure placement would definitely be for like the end, like the last one. That would probably be expensive. But yeah, this kind of corroborates my theory that like I feel like Jeff is the reason why. So I'm like, to be fair, from the trailer, he seemed to play it and enjoy it and wanted to use a slot for a small team. You heard it from Watts right there. The theory is he seemed to liked it and played it, so he wanted to show it off and just show them love. He said he's done this before, and that could be the case. So that's why I said, let's wait for the game to come out. It does look like a generic live service game, but honestly, it doesn't look like the worst game that I've ever seen. And I feel like people are dunking on this shit a little too hard. It feels like motherfuckers want to hate shit. It feels like because there's so much bullshit going on in the world, people are taking it out on this game. And I'm like, let's wait and see what happens. Because the game is free to play. And if we don't like it, we'll keep it moving. I bet it costs more for him to personally announce it instead of someone else. Yeah, because he lost a lot of money on the table. So many people are going to be on it day one and it should still be fun, even if it's bad. A lot of people are going to be hate playing it too. It's just Twitter bots just botting. It could be that too. So that's your Highguard update. They've also invited content creators to play it apparently. We gonna see. We gonna see. Sony's Legend of Zelda movie will be exclusive to Netflix after the theatrical run. Netflix is consolidating that power. The Sony Pictures live-action Zelda movie will be exclusive to Netflix following its theatrical run. Netflix and Sony Pictures have announced as a part of a larger deal. The Netflix-Sony deal is a multi-year pay-one agreement that begins this year. The Zelda movie was singled out in Netflix's announcement as some of the first movies that will come to Netflix. Others include Nightingale, Buds, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, and the new Beatles movie from director Sam Mendes. Deadline reported that Sony also considered making a deal with Amazon, but Netflix stepped up. The report said the value of the deal is $7 billion. But neither Netflix nor Sony confirmed this. The Zelda movie features Bo Bragginson as Zelda and Benjamin Avon Asworth as Link. Filming is underway currently in New Zealand. This is actually a good thing. Sony is showing that it's okay to license instead of making a new fucking streaming service. That's one way of looking at it. I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that. That's one way. I guess I'm a doomer. I guess my concern with this is I read in another article that they're going to shorten the theatrical releases. So the goal is to funnel everybody to Netflix. Instead of a movie being in theaters for 1, 2, 3 months, depending on how it performs, and you being able to go see the movie for 10 to 15 bucks, you know, I think they're trying to lock it behind the Netflix paywall. And then they're also trying to buy Warner Bros. And consolidate their power. Then they're going to use that as a reason to jack up the price. And guess what? We're going to hit the 7 Cs, man. Wait, because that just came out and said they will keep a 45-day window that's currently happening. That's the window? Okay. The price probably will go up though. Yeah, and that's my concern. Like, I'm already on the ad plan for fucking T-Mobile. Am I gonna get kicked off that shit? They announced the price hike for Apple TV. I had it for free because of T-Mobile. When they announced the price hike, I got a message from T-Mobile. They said, we can't afford to give you this for free no more. So if there's another price hike for Netflix, I'm already watching the ads. It's gonna force me to go to the 7 Cs. Let's see. Netflix will keep Warner Bros. Movies in theaters for 45 days. When the deal closes, we'll own a theatrical distribution engine that is phenomenal and produces billions of dollars of theatrical revenue that we don't want to put at risk. We will run the business largely like it is today with 45-day windows. I'm giving you a hard number. If we're going to be in the theatrical business, and we're competitive people. We want to win. I want to win the opening weekend. Okay, that's good to hear then. Y'all think we're gonna see the Netflix logo before movies now? Also, do you think there's a chance we could get another Morbius release? Morbius back in theaters a third time? He said, don't do that. Oh shit. The question is, what do y'all think is gonna go up in price? $5, $2, $10? Like, what's too much for y'all when it comes to Netflix? What's too much? The Netflix logo gonna blow everyone's ears out. Bro, stop giving them ideas. I'm not giving them ideas. We talking about making money. I'm giving them ideas when it comes to creativity stuff, especially when it comes to gaming, because they never enact the creative stuff that gamers love. I'm not giving them ideas when it comes to making the money. Trust me, that's the thing they're discussing in the boardroom. I'm not giving them no ideas. They've been thought about this. That's what they do. They sit in these boardrooms and say, how can we extract as much resources out of you as possible? Because that's literally what capitalism is. The extraction of resources, aka you. If Netflix goes up $3, I'm canceling it. The good thing is these days, you know, the rebels, the pirates, they've gotten really good at uploading within 24 hours, so long as you don't mind waiting, you know. The Straw Hats. Other news, EA's plans for Battlefield 6 longevity continue as it poaches the Division lead. Battlefield 6 is pushing forward after the tragic death of legendary leader Vince Zampella, RIP, who passed away following a car accident last month. Julian Gerthy? God, oh, pause, nigga, what the fuck? This nigga last name is Gerthy. Creative lead of the Division series and Star Wars Outlaws has left Ubisoft studio Massive Entertainment and will now be joining the Battlefield studios, but what role he will take is still unclear. Ubisoft posted to social media to make the announcement and gave Gerthy his flowers for the many years of hard work on the Division series. While we'll miss him, his mark will live on at Massive and will continue to bring the world he's been part of creating and other players for years to come. Makes sense. Ubisoft is poor, so he wanted to jump ship before the ship completely sank. That being said, I don't like this move, chat. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't like this move. Vince and Pella are large shoes to fill. And I don't know if he's gonna be filling them, but he's definitely gonna be a lead in some capacity. And he worked on The Division and Star Wars Outlaws, games that I'm not a big fan of. I don't like anything Massive did at Ubisoft. I think they're a massive failure. So the fact they're coming to Battlefield and then Battlefield right now is in a limbo state. It needs an injection to the arm. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the yellow flag. I'm gonna put it as a yellow flag. We're gonna give him a chance, because to be fair, Expedition 33 could have been Ubisoft's game, but Ubisoft wouldn't let them create what they want, so they left and made their own studio. So Ubisoft definitely has talent under their umbrella. Maybe his creativity was being stifled by the Ubisoft executives, so we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, but we're watching. We're watching what you do at Battlefield. If this dude does great, it says more about Ubisoft. Exactly, that's a fact. That is a fact, man. Did Massive make Indiana Jones? No, that's under Bethesda. Is that Machine Games? I think that's Machine Games, I believe. I don't blame him for jumping ship. They're poor. Look at Ubisoft ship, Skull and Bones. That shit is sinking every day. Avatar creators announce a new series following The Last Airbender's cult favorite characters. What up, Ty Pro, my bad. Did you ever watch Avatar Last Airbender and think, would it be cool to have some sort of spinoff about Suki and the Kyoshi Warriors? If the answer is yes, you're in luck. The answer is no for me, but collaborating with Avatar Studios and Avatar The Last Airbender co-creators Michael Dante and Brian Dark Horse Comics presents Avatar The Last Airbender Kyoshi Warriors. While both Suki and the Kyoshi Warriors played a special part in Avatar's 3-season run, when it comes to your favorite characters, there's always going to be some fans who want to see more of them. The series features cover art by Danielle. Oh, this is a book. I thought this was a show. That makes sense because it's being published by Dark Horse, which is a comic book publisher. I don't care if it's a book, then that's fine. I was thinking this was a show. Unfortunately for Suki and the Kyoshi Warrior sisters, they've met with a suspicion and resentment by the mainlanders, and even worse, the group struggles to prove themselves. This is fine. False alarm, false alarm, false alarm. This is fine. The story will be told across 3 monthly single issues for $4.99. Yeah, it's a comic book. This is fine. I'm cool with this. Now I actually might buy it. I might actually buy it. Yeah, it's a book. I'll buy it. But if it was a show, I don't want a show for it. Like, a book's fine. If the book does fine, then maybe we can get a show then. Which, by the way, chat, I hit my first lick. Let me put y'all on. Image, comics, exquisite courses. Let's see, news. I didn't put this in the giant, but here you go. Is it in my valid? No, but I know I showed this book off, and I had a feeling this was gonna happen. Best-selling Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles writers expand new. Oh wait, this ain't the shit, bro. Here we go. This one. Horror comic Exquisite Corpses is heading to the big screen. I saw this on TikTok. The official Image Comics TikTok. They posted that Exquisite Corpses is getting a movie, and I got issue 1. I got issue number 1, nigga. I got multiple issues. I showed this shit off on stream, and I told y'all this shit was fire. This made me so happy. Cause since I got back into collecting comic books, this is the first lick I hit. I still got the eye. I said I was like, this one could be a good show or a movie. Exquisite Corpses best-selling horror comic launched last year by Image Comics is getting a film adaptation. Deadline reports that what's the lore? The gist of the show the gist of the book without spoiling it, because it's still ongoing. In this version of America, there are 13 families, 13 billionaire families that are tied to the 13 original colonies that run America. And every 4 or 5 years, they get together and they cut off a portion of a town and they hire assassins and they make them fight. Now, what's the point of the 13 families fighting? Whoever wins the BR gets to control America for the next 4 years. It's fire. It's fucking fire. So just like real life. No, wrong one. Hold on. Just like that's the way. Just like real life. If you want to read it, they just released the trade paperback, like the first 6 issues. You can get it as a book. It's a good read. It's a good read. I call it this one. I got to get the first issue now. If you do get it, it's probably going to be a reprint. But yeah, they announced a movie coming. Bro, comic books might be the hidden gem to collecting going forward since Pokemon is saturated. I just seen a video of a store got broken into in LA and they robbed like 500,000 of that shit, bro. That shit was crazy. Based off that premise, you'd love the Fate anime series. I watched it. Fate is okay. I like it. Palantar's future plans, unfortunately. This sounds like the anime Junie Tyson. Junie Tyson sucks though. I seen that shit. Comics have always been there. Yeah, but I think comic books are having a bit of a renaissance between the Absolute series. And then Images dropped some bangers between Battle Beast, Exquisite Corpses. There's another one I got on my shelf. Rook Exodus. There's been some banger books dropping in the last 2 years, so that you're seeing like a bit of a renaissance. What's the other one? Something is Killing the Children. I think that one's getting an adaptation. I think. Do you still do Am I Valid? Nah, because people wasn't watching that shit. People wasn't really watching that shit. I tried to put y'all niggas on. But motherfuckers wasn't listening. They wasn't listening. It's all good. Comics fell off during COVID because of Demon Slayer. I would say comics took a hit because of manga and anime as a whole. I think their business model is resonating with Western audiences better than comic books. But credit to the comic book industry. I think they're noticing what they're doing and they're starting to adapt some of their business practices. That's why we're getting if you want to get into comic books, DC has a really good line of books called DC Compacts. They're the size of mangas, but they're putting classic stories in there. So they're trying to adapt some of that manga shit into comic books and make it work. It's having a bit of a little comeback season because one of the top 5 best-selling books in 2025 was Absolute Batman. You know what wasn't a top-selling book, a top-selling anything actually, was Amazon's New World. It was an MMO. It's dead as hell, man. New World will soon be part of the old world. Developer Amazon Game Studios announced in a blog post Thursday that the fantasy MMO has been removed from the digital storefronts and will officially go offline on January 31st, 2027. I'm not gonna lie, why wait so long, man? Just cut it off tomorrow, nigga. We don't care.
I'm gonna play this off stream, man. We're gonna finish this mission up off stream.
I'm not gonna lie, I like manga's format better than comics. Comics format is all over the place, I feel like. Yeah, I feel like, unfortunately, like manga, they release in volumes, right? They'll release volume 1 and you get the whole book, you read it, and you wait for the next one. I wish new comic books would do that shit. Comic books are still adopting the old style of issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, and you only get like 30 to 60, no, like 25 to 60 pages if it's a big book. I think going forward, especially maybe for like lesser known popular characters, maybe like a Static, a Vixen, start releasing new stories in manga format instead of issue 1, issue 2, issue 3. You get more meat on the bone, but then also like it'll still hold the value if you get number, because I would imagine Dragon Ball #1 volume 1 is probably worth a lot of fucking money. So like I think the comic book industry is too tied to the idea of collectibles issue 1, but it's like I would imagine volume 1 would still be collectible. I know I would get it. The compact sizes are lit. They're trying. By God, it is. Mangas do weekly too. More meat is always good. Yeah, I feel like it's hard to justify getting into comic books charging $5 an issue when manga is right there and you could pay $10 and get 3, 4, 5 times as much value, you know? Graphic novels are graphic novels are lit. But yeah, this shit dead. I ain't reading this shit. This shit dead as hell. Who care, nigga? What the hell? I just went on full screen mode. My bad.